Today's topic is puppy handling techniques. And if this is your first time joining us, my name is Tiff. I'm the behavior manager at the Humane Society of Western Montana, and I'm also a certified professional dog trainer. Thank you for the affirmation. I see it all coming in now. So puppy handling techniques. If you have a puppy at home, your hands probably have some scars on them. Mind you too. And it's just so normal for puppies to be a little painful sometimes because they have those little needle teeth and they explore with their mouths. But also because they live with us, we need to handle them, whether it's to wipe them down after a rainy walk today, or to check what they have in their mouth, or to check their ears or their paws. And really think about all the things we need to do with our puppies when they grow older. Vet checks, nail trims, baths, brushing, all of that. And now is the time to get your puppy used to all of those different sensations. So joining me as always is my lovely puppy, Paya, and she will be coming out shortly. But I just want to let you know what you need for this if you are joining in with a puppy. And this is good for adult dogs too. Just puppies, even though today's focus is puppy class, everything that I'm saying applies to adult dogs as well. So here's what you need. Get about a cup of your puppy's kibble. So just, this is a great time to train actually, because maybe you haven't even fed your puppy dinner yet. Just take their dinner and just let's use it for this training session. Whatever you don't use for this training session, you can just give it to your puppy afterwards. It also helps to have a leash and a collar if your puppy's not wearing a collar, and whatever else you might have lying around that you may want to use with your puppy eventually. So a nail clipper, a brush, a cute little jacket, things like that. So I'm going to give you guys just a few seconds to gather the stuff if you need to gather the stuff. And then in the meantime, I'm going to go gather my puppy. Paya. Alrighty, it's showtime. Yeah, you're the star. You're the star. Let's go. Good. All right, hopefully we're all ready. I'm always so excited, and Paya is also always so excited. So here we go. I'm actually going to lower my screen, get it, so that you can see me and Paya better, because all of this is going to be pretty low to the ground. And I'm going to talk you through what we're going to do. So there are so many different handling ways we want to handle our puppy, like I mentioned in the beginning. And I want to talk about basic techniques first. So you want your treats in one hand, and I like to have maybe 5 or more at a time. This is way more than 5, but a few. And your other hand is free to do the manipulation, whether it's getting a leash on your puppy or doing handling techniques. And the first thing I want to do is just get your puppy in training mode. We're going to practice Pez dispensing treats, which is going to be useful for many things that we're going to do today. So what Pez dispensing treats means is if you have 5 or more treats, you're going to just push one into their mouth, and then another one, and then another one, at about this rate, like 1 per second, but you're only giving them one. One thing that I see a lot, especially in training class where people are, very focused on their dogs and trying to listen to me at the same time, and it's all really hard, is they can accidentally just give their dogs all of that at once, right? And then we don't want to do that. So if your puppy or dog is right in front of you, let's take 5 or more treats or their kibble, and we're just going to give them one and pause, and give them one more and pause, and give them one more and pause. And the thing about what we're doing is all of that dispensing comes from one hand, so that this hand will be free to do other things later. Doesn't matter which hand you use, just make sure you use the same hand, or you can, you can switch, but keep your open hand open. All right, I'm just going to do 3 with this hand. Nice and easy. If you drop a few, no worries. I'm sure your puppy's not going to complain. All right, so that said, let's get to the first handling technique, which is getting your puppy's leash on and off. And I'm sure if you have a puppy, you've had the struggle of, so like no treats, right? Like, and you need to get them out for a potty break or whatever. And you know, you're trying to get the collar, and she's really good at this point, but you're trying to get the collar on the little tiny D-ring, and it's always so tiny. And then they're biting your hands the entire time. Right? I mean, I totally had that phase with her, and she's just better about it now. She still wants to mouth me, but she is older now, so she's getting better. So I'm just going to take the leash off for the sake of example. So here's where we're going to apply everything I just said. Have 3 to 5 treats or kibble, and have the leash ready. Have your thumb on this piece. Everything is ready, right? So the first thing you're going to do, the D-ring is actually on that side of her collar. So I'm going to rotate it just for the sake of showing you on the camera. Ready? Okay, you have both things ready. And you're going to do both at the same time. So here's one treat, and I'm searching for the D-ring, and I'm giving another one, and there, leash is on. It has been on. If you have a young, like a new squirmy puppy, you're probably going to have to go slow and use a few treats. Because she's used to this, I can just do the simple one treat and off, one treat and on. And really, I'm at the point where I don't really even need a treat. Good girl, because of all the stuff I did with her as a puppy. Now, I know that we're bigger and stronger than our puppy. So even if your puppy is mouthy, it's not like we can't get a leash on our puppies, right? But we still want to do all of this handling because that puppy nipping when you're touching them can turn into harder mouthing, not aggression, but just harder mouthing, more hyper behavior if we don't address it now when they're still really, really young. And I mean, they can absolutely learn at this age to be gentle with their mouths and to not fixate on your hands when you're reaching towards them. So let's do that one more time together. I have my treats ready, the leash is on. So as the treat's going to her, I'm reaching for that clasp and off it comes. And treat's going to her, 1 and 2, and I dropped it, which is fine. And I'm actually struggling here because the D-ring's so small. If you run out of treats and your puppy starts squirming, just stop, back off, and get a few more pieces of kibble. And here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. I got it. Really, I can't wait for her to get bigger so I can get a bigger collar with a bigger D-ring. Yeah, she's so good. All right. As always, if you have questions at any point during this live stream, put them in the chat, and I would love to answer them along the way if I can. All right, we're gonna move on to collars. And actually, do I have a good collar for this? I do. So I have a collar right behind the setup that I'm gonna grab real quick because she's wearing a buckle collar, which makes things a lot more difficult. In fact, I'll just use this buckle collar for the sake of example. So collars are a little different. We need both hands, right? Like this collar is a little, I need to do a lot. But even if you just have a normal clip collar, you need both hands. So this is where we're going to do a treat scatter. And same thing, tool is ready, treats are ready. Ready, Paya? So what you're going to do is you're going to take 5 little pieces of kibble or so, and you're going to position it in front of the collar. So it's puppy, collar, then treats, and it's all going to be low to the ground. Ready, Paya? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scatter this. Oh, she missed it. I'm just going to scatter it. And while she's eating the little treat scatter, here I go with my collar. And if it was a clip collar, it would be so much easier. My puppy just wears her collar all the time, so I don't need to do this very often. And then to take it off, if you have a clip collar, it's even easier. You just do the Pez dispense, 1, 2, unclip if you had a clip collar, like clip, and then off it comes. All right, let's do this a few times together. So when anything that you need both hands for, you're going to do a little treat scatter. And every time I say treat, know that you just use your dog's kibble. Treat is just the common word that I use. But I have 4 or 5 little pieces of our kibble right here. It's puppy, tool, then food. And I'm going to have it low so I'm ready, right? I'm looking for the position of her neck so my life is easier. And scatter, the color is already there. While she's eating that treat scatter, I am just finding that hole. What a great job. Yeah. Oh, you're so cute. You did it. You did it. Yeah, you stretch. All right. the more you practice, the easier it will get as well. So the next thing we're going to do is harness. And if you don't have a harness, it's okay. But I do highly recommend you get a harness as soon as possible. And also, if you don't have a harness, but you do have a jacket or a sweater or something, you can use that instead. So I'm just going to grab the harness real quick. Oh, it's all the way over there. Awesome. All right. There are many reasons why I love harnesses. One is what puppies and dogs, pulling is one of the biggest things that people struggle with, and a harness will not only make it safer for your puppy to walk because if they pull, the pressure's not all on their neck, but also some harnesses can actually help reduce pulling entirely. So it's really great to teach puppies to accept a harness when they're young. If you don't if you don't expose them to a harness when they're young, the chances of them not liking a harness when they grow older increase. So I know a lot of adult dogs who, I mean, they have great lives, but they are afraid of the harness. So I know some dogs who are so afraid that even when the owner pulls the harness out, the dog will run away. That's not necessarily a problem if the family doesn't have any challenges walking their dog. But if you have a dog that's afraid of the harness and hard to walk on leash, that's just a really hard combination. And it's so easy to prevent. Even if you don't know if you might use a harness when your dog grows up, just condition them to like it now as puppies, and your life will be a lot easier. Same for sweaters and backpacks. So I go backpacking with my dogs. You bet that this harness, desensitization and counter conditioning, technically what it is, will help her accept wearing a backpack down the line. So anyways, there's a lot involved with a harness. There's some are step in, some are over the head. Just because I have a over the head, I'm going to demonstrate with over the head. I'm going to have 2 or 3 treats ready, and there is the head through portion and the buckle portion. We're going to use Pez dispense and treat scatter for this. So, treat, tool, puppy. That's always the order. So Paya, so here is the tool, and I'm just going to lure her head through, just like that. 1, 2, and 3, and that harness is on. Now that headpiece is on, I need to get the buckles around her waist. So now I'm going to do a treat scatter, because anytime you need 2 hands, you need a treat scatter. So little tiny scatter. And there's 1 clip, and little scatter here. Here's another clip. What a good job. You did so great. Awesome. Nice and easy. Taking it off is even easier. So treat, unclip, treat, unclip. And then for the head part, you can either Pez dispense as you're pulling this off, or you can scatter and then just kind of slip it off like a sweater as they're eating. I'm going to do that again. And hopefully you're following along if you have tools and your puppy ready. I'm going to do my other hand. All right. So here's the head part. Excellent. So that was 2. And then I'm going to do a little scatter. Notice I also scatter in ways that are convenient for me. So let's say I want to do her left side. I'm going to scatter so that, look at how accessible. She practically is positioning herself for me. And now I need to get the other side. How difficult to like wrestle around my puppy, right? So I'm just going to do my little 3 kibble treat scatter here. And look, the side that I need is right in front of me. Let the food do the work for you. And that's what I always like to say for these handling things. I mean, it's so easy if you just put the food in the right place at the right time. It does take practice. One thing I want to say real quick is we're going to do a lot of handling today. In real life with your puppy, you of course don't need to practice handling for 10, 20, 30 minutes. I only recommend doing each of these exercises for a minute a day or as needed. So I didn't spend 5 minutes a day doing leash on, leash off, but I did use that technique with the treats every time I took the leash on and off, and that's all it takes. All right, I don't see any questions coming in the chat, so we're going to move on to different kinds of handling. I'm going to take her harness off first, just because she doesn't need it on, and just for the sake of example, well, I could take it off normally now because I have been working on all of this, but for the sake of example, she's all the way over there. Like, if I need to lean over and get her, do you see her open her mouth actually? It's really hard. So I'm going to just lure her with a treat, feed 1 treat, unclip, feed another treat, unclip, And I'm going to do a little treat scatter. I need to make this a little bigger. Actually, that was fine. Awesome. All right, I am going to get her leash on because there's a gap over here and my other dog is lounging over there and I don't want her to squeeze over there. Not that she hasn't been a good girl. I'm on my third one. I'm doing so poorly at this, guys. That little D-ring is the worst thing, isn't it? And again, even though I could just grab her and do it, I just want to show you that when I mess up, I just take a step back. There's absolutely no rush to this situation. I think I got it. Yeah, I did get it. You're a good girl. You're so good. All right. Okay, so let's do other types of handling exercises. This is where I don't recommend doing it for 5-10 minutes at a time or even a day. Just do a minute at a time, once or twice a day. But we do want to get our puppies very comfortable with all sorts of handling. Imagine what a vet would do to them, and imagine what you would need to do if they have an ear infection, or if you need to administer some medication, or you need to check their paw because there's a little grass seed stuck in there. We don't want to wait until it's an emergency to handle your dog, because those are really stressful situations, even for adult dogs. And then if they learn that handling is stressful, the next time you're going to have to do it, it's going to be a lot harder. All right. So we're going to use kind of the same technique here. And here's the part where it gets tricky with body handling. Sometimes even if you have the treat, if you're trying to do all of this, your puppy is going to get mouthy anyways, right? So the big thing when you're touching your puppy is your motion needs to be small and gentle and very brief at first. The older your puppy gets, the more you can just pet them without being mouthed. You see her following my hand. Like I can kind of just pet her. But when I have my cuddle sessions with her, they've been getting more and more cuddly and longer. But I can't, do you see that? I can't cuddle with her like I do my adult dog. And it's not anything to do with training or anything like that. It's just puppies are mouthy. So have reasonable expectations too. But let's say she's a new puppy and I'm just doing this for the first time. I have my treats ready and I have my other hand free to do other things. What you're going to do is the first kind of handling I recommend is just going in the chin collar area underneath. A lot of puppies, even if they're social and love to be touched, will lean back or shy away with overhead reaches, whether because that's scary or because they really want to bite your hand. So just to get Paya into the exercise, ready? I'm just going to go and touch her chest. And while I'm patting her chest, 1, 2, done. 1 and done, I guess, because I dropped it. And then from the chest, you can move on to other body parts. What's going on back there? All right. Yeah, so pet and treat, pet, treat, pet, treat. See how I start at the chest and treat? I switched hands. Oh yeah, so ready? Pet, pet, treat, pet, treat. Again, let the treats do the work for you. So I don't want to really need to reach and lean and all of that. Just doing a little cleaning there. It's okay. Ready, Paya? Yay! So I'm going to move her to me with the treats. Pet, treat, pet, treat, pet, treat, pet, treat, pet, treat. What this does, I know all of us can touch our puppies, right? I mean, why would we get puppies if we can't even touch them? But what this does is it teaches them that touch is kind of a training exercise, that they should be calm for it. It does, if your puppy is naturally pretty calm or laid back, I'm not saying that you need to have treats ready and give them treats every time you touch them, but this kind of deliberate handling lends itself well to other types of handling down the line, like ear checks and such. So if your puppy is calm, what you can do is move to more sensitive areas gently and briefly. So I'm now starting at the chest and non-sensitive areas. Flip her ear, treat. Flip her this ear, treat. You don't need to flip your dog's ear. You can just, wiggle your finger in it as if, a vet's swabbing it with a Q-tip, and treat. All right, so I'm gonna, little tiny ear massage and treat. Look at how I stop, right? Maybe I just wanna stick my fingers in her gums, so to speak, but I can do a little lip lift and treat. So I know I'm saying treat and it looks like she's already eating, but she's trying to get it. And now I squeeze it out for her. I know that's hard to see on the camera. So mouth is hard. So I'm letting her nibble on the treat, lifting it, and then releasing the treat to her. And then I stop, right? We need to keep it brief for puppies. If you get to the point where they're struggling and flailing, it's a little too much. And you're not hurting them or anything, but it just teaches them to struggle, and we don't want to do that. All right, same with paws. Paws can be a little tricky. Ready? All righty. So I have my treats ready. My open hand is ready. I'm just gonna very gently slide my hand down, and I'm treating and release really quick. Sliding my hand down, treating and release. And release. I want to get those back paws. I'm going to let the treats do the work. If I have to go back and, grab her back paw, she's going to back away. She might not, but excuse me, a lot of puppies would. I'm going to lure her. And then now I can pet and treat, lift and treat, and let go. I'm going to just guide her the other way to show you. Pet, treat, lift, treat, and treat. What a good job. You are such a good girl. She loves to be cuddled, but she's getting a little squirmy too. Nice loose tail, loose body. All right. So that handling, the full body handling, and now she's mouthing my hand because I just scooped her, which is really exciting for her. Opposite of what we're doing. So what we're going to do, what I want you to do is all of the handling I just showed you, I recommend practicing for about a minute a day, right? It shouldn't take up your whole day, but you should do a full body check each day. Good. Not because you need to right now, but because you really want to teach your puppy handling. Calm handling is routine. So when they're older, when you go for that vet check, they're already ready, so to speak. So let me show you, because she's further along, right? She doesn't need as many treats. I just want to give you hope that it's not just like 100 treats a day. It gets better. So if I need to handle her and she just had that mouthy session and calm down, I've done collar grabs too. So I'm just going to gently see her eye. Good girl. I'm just going to gently check her gums. Good. She's losing her incisors. That's so cute. I actually want to look at them again because they're so cute. Good, those adult incisors are coming in. I check her ears real quick. Good. A little squirmy there, so still working on it. And that ear's a little itchy, huh? Good, excellent. See, I'm still keeping it short. I mean, she's still a puppy. She's not perfect. You are perfect. All right. Good, excellent. All right, I've also done handling with her collar. So it's the same thing, right? So you touch the collar and you treat. You touch the collar and you treat. And you're grabbing it gently but firmly, as you would in real life. Because I've done so much of this, look at how she calms down when I grab her collar. So I'm gonna get her excited. Slapping her around. She's mouthy, right? And watch this. Good. I'm not pinning her. I'm not like, stop it. She has just learned because of all the handling that I'm doing that when I touch her collar and stuff, it just means let's calm down together. When I've done everything what I'm doing with her with my adult dog, Bray, who I also started with as a puppy. And even though he's a super intense, even mouthier than her kind of dog, my vets will tell you that they let me handle because I just gently hold his collar. I pull up the leg. The vet does the IV thing. The vet gets the sutures out because he's cut his paw pad before, and it's so easy. And nail trimming becomes easy too. So all of this pays off, even though it feels like a lot of work right now. All right. So I still don't see any questions in the chat. So we're going to move ahead, and I'm just going to refill on kibble real quick. All right. Almost done here. So I have my nail clipper, my brush. Let's do brush first. It's easier. If you have a brush, great. If not, it's okay. You should get one. And same thing, like imagine this is your hand. Your puppy might want to bite the brush, and you should just have your treats ready, 3 to 5 treats. So she wants to bite the brush and treat, just tiny little bit. Remember, your puppies have puppy coats right now. They don't have their adult coats yet. So you really don't need to brush them, but you should be brushing them to get them used to brushing. So treat hand, tool hand, treat and brush and treat, brush and treat, brush and treat. Really gentle. I don't need to dig in there. I don't need to brush her. It's all about practice. And if you don't have a tool, you can just use your hand. So pet and treat, pet and treat. It doesn't replace getting a grooming tool and practicing with a grooming tool, but just for tonight, it'll suffice. Brush and I'm releasing a treat, releasing a treat, releasing a treat. Good, I forgot a treat there, so here's a treat. Awesome, nice and easy. All of this should be really, really simple. We're getting on to almost 30 minutes here, so if your puppy is getting really wiggly right about now, you can just stop and watch the rest because, like I said, I don't do 30 to 40 minutes of handling with my puppy. I really only do a minute a day, if even. It all adds up. All right, nails. Nails are the hardest. And I am going to show you a training position that helps with nails. It is, even though I'm a professional trainer, it is impossible for me to clip my puppy's nails from standing right now. I do that with my adult dog. He's very conditioned to nail trimming. He will offer his paws, stay still, the whole shebang. But, you know, for her to, even if I treat scatter and I'm trying to clip a nail, it's just not going to happen right now. Not fast enough. I'm not fast enough. A professional groomer might do better than me. But I always like to think, how do I want to clip my puppy's nails when she gets older? And I think for her, because she's going to probably not be a huge dog, I want her to be in a prone position. So I'm going to train for that right now and do paw handling exercises. So I've done this in another live stream before. I lure her into a down position, and I'm moving the lure from her nose to her hip and getting her into this position so that eventually, and I look at how many treats I'm getting. It's still the same, touch, treat, but the only difference is I'm adding that position in. Touch, treat, touch a nail, treat, touch a nail, and treat. Yeah, you did it. I'm going to have the clippers right here just to show you how I can work in the clippers over time, and I am doing that. So I'm going to get her into position first. You can absolutely do it from standing if your puppy is bigger or more still than mine. But I'm going to lure from, she already knows, she's so good. You're such a goober. But let's do it from scratch for the puppies who don't know this yet. So if your puppy is standing, lure into a sit. If they're sitting, then lure into a down. When they're in a down, move the treat from their nose towards their hip, nose to hip like this. And then they're going to follow it and shift their weight. So touch, treat, touch, treat, touch, treat. Excellent. I want those back legs, but I'm going to let the treats do the work for me. I'm not going to reach all the way over her because she's probably going to bite my armpits while I'm trying to get those little back legs. Good. Good. And touch, treat. Oh, you can't really see, can you? Touch, treat. You want to wiggle over here? Yeah, she does want to wiggle over here. And treat, touch, and treat. And touch. Good. And I lost my treats. I actually put it down because good. 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 Do you see how she gets up for the back legs? Like she's not getting up all the way or biting me, but that shows you that I have a lot of work left to do. All right, I'm just going to do one more rep with her. Good. Or one more set, I should say. Good. 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 Free. Excellent. All right. And that's all. Like if that was working on nail trimming with her, that's all I would do today. It is absolutely okay. I have clipped her nails already. One thing that I can't show you right now because my partner isn't available is you can, if you have two people or something to lure your puppy with, like a spoonful of peanut butter, or they even make things called licky mats where you smear some canned food or peanut butter on the mat. You can attach it to a wall or something and let your puppy lick that. And while they're distracted, you can clip their nails real quick. So what my partner does with me is since she's cuddly, I would never do this with a puppy that's not cuddly. Get up here. Get up here. But what he does is he cuddles with her. Yeah. Yeah. I can't get her into the position. But he pretty much has her on her back while luring her with treats. And then I get in and I clip those little nails. Are you going to do it for me? Oh, yeah. Oh, you got it. Because it's not trim time, it's play time. Here, let's do it this way. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get you. Yay! And treat. And treat. So my partner's doing this part, and I'm doing the clip, 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 clip. Every clip, she gets a treat. Now she's squirming. Again, I would never do this with a puppy who didn't like it. My Bray, there's no way. Like I couldn't. He would absolutely have bitten me if I did this with him as a puppy. But she's a different puppy. But the moral of the story is though, if your puppy is very like if they like peanut butter or wet food, or if you have someone to help you, you can lure them with food. Just keep the food coming while you do the nails or whatever you need to do with them. And make it quick, make it simple. Be sure not to quick them, like cut the nails too short, or else it's gonna hurt and you're gonna set yourself back. I made mistakes. I've already quicked her like 3 times because I make mistakes too. And it's so important to do all of this handling because when you make a mistake like I do, it can be really, really scary for your dog or your puppy. And if you are approaching all handling from this foundation of making it all really positive, then if you make a mistake, they will bounce back. If you never do any of this and you clip your dog's nails and you quick them, they may never want you to touch their paws again. And it's going to take a lot more behavior modification to teach them to trust paw handling after that. So I don't see any questions in the chat. But what I'm going to do, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up a little screen that shows you how you can contact me and my behavior team if you have any further questions about any training or behavior topics, and particularly puppy topics, but really anything. And I'm just going to do a quick screen share. All right, I do want to tell you about some free resources. I forgot to say this the last 2 or 3 times, I believe, but we have a puppy matchmaker program. So if your puppy is between 8 to 16 weeks of age, all you need to do is fill out a quick form, which is on our website in the training behavior section, and we will send you a free 1-hour course on puppy socialization. It goes over vaccinations and what socializing your puppy with other dogs should look like. There are so many videos of puppies interacting with adult dogs. It's very, very in-depth and free. We'll send that to you for free. And then if your puppy is still in the socialization age and eligible, we will match you with other puppy or mentor dog owners who are interested in meeting up. And I know it's so hard in this time to socialize your puppy. This is just one way we are trying to help people socialize safely and effectively. So all you need to do again is go on our website and click on training behavior and fill out the puppy matchmaker form. As always, feel free to tune in Wednesdays at 6 o'clock for a puppy class like what we did tonight. The topics are new every week. Every Thursdays at 6 o'clock is our behavior spotlight. Tomorrow's topic will be presented by Meg and her super awesome dog Volta. It's going to be tricks, and even though you have puppies, it's totally accessible to you guys as well. And her dog is amazing, knows a ton of tricks, and Meg's going to walk you through how to train your dog to do a bunch of cute tricks. It's not just cute, it's effective. So if you're if the winter is making it hard for you to get your puppy or dog out to tire them out, trick training will absolutely help work their brains and make them tired. So tune in tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Thank you always for tuning in, and we will see ya at the next live stream.